in Colorado. In tonight's local angle, Fox 31's Eli Stokols is live in Boulder, where Congressman Jared Polis met with a large group of concerned voters just this evening. Eli?
Yeah, Libby, that's right. Another large group, maybe 300-400 people coming out here tonight to the Southern Sun Brewery for this Congress on Your Corner event. You know, maybe it's because this is Boulder. Maybe it's because of that recent backsliding from the White House on this public option. But most of the people who came here tonight had the same very clear message for Congressman Polis. Here's a sign they left behind, and it says very simply, to keep fighting for that public option.
Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Jared Polis.
Nice
Thanks for joining us.
You know how to pull in the crowd, don't you?
Well, yeah, usually we get 30, 40 people at these.
A few hundred people bringing signs and stories.
Right.
That's my grandson. He will probably never walk.
Stories some were able to tell Congressman Jared Polis.
When they applied for coverage for the power wheelchair, they were told it doesn't qualify as durable medical equipment.
Stories that mostly led to one key point.
Without a public option, they have no recourse to get any insurance that will cover this child's needs.
That any health care reforms should include that controversial public option.
It is the most essential part.
There are some that won't be able to afford buying their own insurance, and there needs to be a public option to provide for those people.
Pressure from conservatives opposed to government involvement in health care has President Obama backing off a bit on the public option.
I just want to advocate for that.
But here, constituent
Public option as strong as possible.
after constituent
We pay over $900 a month in private insurance.
told Polis to stand strong and keep that public option in the bill.
Yes.
And I would gladly be paying that to the government because I know that they'll manage it better than my insurance company.
Some people trust the government more than insurance companies. With a public option, rather than single payer, there's different kinds of people they can choose.
Now, there were a few opponents to the public option in the president's health care reform package that were here tonight, too, but it was a much smaller group than we've seen, and a much less vocal group than we've seen at other rallies around the state. Incidentally, Polis is not one of the 60 House Democrats that have signed a letter basically saying that they will not support any final bill unless it includes that public option. Polis says he supports the public option in principle, but Libby, it seems at this point, as this thing is still making its way through the process, that Polis is hedging his bets at least a little bit.
Okay, Eli, thanks. And Jared Polis is this week's guest